Hi, Dale Titus with today's 2-minute bass lesson. In previous lessons I've covered how to play triads and seventh chords. So if you watch all of them, there's 8 arpeggios that I've shown you. But that's where a lot of people stop, and unfortunately it's like learning spelling words but never writing sentences. We need you to take that information from just the basic mechanics of playing those arpeggios and start making music with it. And I've kind of struggled with this because this is something I can easily do with lessons, private lessons, but I was hoping to translate it to a video lesson, and this first attempt may go down in flames, but let's give it a shot. So what I'm proposing is I'm going to show you a small progression, a short progression of 4 chords, and I'll play the chords with a metronome, and then you, hopefully at home, can play along and do some of the exercise that I suggest. What we're trying to do is give you a vehicle for being able to call up these arpeggios on the spot and play them in a specific manner. So to do this, you have to download the chart. So I suggest you go to mtdkingston.com, go to the zone, which you'll see in the menu bar, click on bass lessons, it'll bring up a bass lesson section, and go to written materials, and you'll see Applying Arpeggios Unit 1, which is the same name that this video has. And in it you'll see a progression that has a D minor triad, to a G major triad, to a C major triad, to an F major triad. Okay? Now I'll play those chords so you have something to play along with. But what I want to do is have you go through the assignments, and the assignments are listed below the staff. And assignment number 1 is play a bass line using the following template: root on the first beat, 5th on the second beat, octave on the third beat, and 5th on the fourth beat. Now what that's doing is you're basically taking each chord, and like in D minor, you're finding the root of D minor, then you're finding the 5th of D minor, the octave of D minor, back to the 5th of D minor. Now when you go to the G, you start by finding the root of G major, the 5th of G major, the octave of G major, and back to the 5th. C, you go root, 5, octave, 5, and F, you go root, 5, octave, 5. You're kind of playing a walking bass line. This would be a good, if you're interested in developing jazz improv walking bass lines, this would be a good beginning point. Being able to see a chord and play through the triad. Now in this case we're just using roots and fifths, and between major and minor chords the root and fifth position always the same. So if you watch me play this, my hand doesn't go, it's the same pattern every time. It's D, G, C, F. It won't change until we add the third. Now speaking of that, let's look at assignment number 2. Now the template is root, 3, 5, octave. So you're basically playing up the triad on each one of these. So for the D, you play the root of D, the minor third, the 5th, the octave. Now when you go to G, and I'll give you a hint, you should probably play the G with your middle finger. You play root, 3rd, 5, octave, go to C, middle finger. Now when you go to F, it's 1st fret, open, 5th, octave. So you don't even have to fret the open, or you could go up higher and play the pattern on the higher F. And that, now you're starting to decide, where's the third? There's only one minor chord. So the first one, the third is minor, and all the others, the third is major. So that walking line would sound like this. Just like that. Now lastly, assignment 3 has you playing the arpeggio backwards, and that can be tricky. Seeing some of these patterns from the octave backwards, they look a little different. I know they're not different, but they look a little different and sometimes can trip you up. So going back to the D, we would start on the octave of D and then play the 5, the 3, and the root. Go to the octave of G, 5, 3, root, C, 5, 3, root, F, 5, 3, root. Now I'm showing you where to play them in these positions, but if you have a 5-string or 6-string, or you want to play them up higher on the neck, it's a personal choice. Just make sure you're hitting the correct interval on the correct beat, and that you're not, taking shortcuts. We really want that discipline of being able to match up these templates to each chord. It's very important. Now, to give you a chance to play along at home, I'm going to play I'll play 4 times through the chart with a metronome set, and the metronome is going to be set rather slowly at 72 beats per minute. And so that's quarter notes. And I'll count us in and I'll play along and I'll stop talking, and you can practice this over so you have someone to play against and you can hear the effect of your notes against mine. So let me count you in. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, that was 4 times through. Now obviously if you have a sequencer at home, you have a looper, you have any way to record yourself and you can play the chords, that's a better experience. You're going to hear it better. I'm sure that the little video camera and your computer speakers probably don't translate very well. But if you don't have any of those options, at least you can play along with what I just performed. Now I also want to suggest to anyone out there with an Android phone or an iPhone that there is a free app called ChordBot Lite, C-H-O-R-D-B-O-T Lite, ChordBot Lite. And it is great because it gives you 4 measures and you can pick any roots, all 12 keys, and you can pick any chord quality, and there's some pretty dense chords. And best of all the phones have a little mini out you can plug into a stereo, and you can choose from styles like hammered piano or new age or blues guitar, and it'll play these progressions for you in a much higher fidelity, and it's so easy to program. So if you are fortunate to have smartphones that can download it, it's a free app if you get the Lite version, and it's just ChordBot Lite, and I really recommend it. It's a great improv tool and much better than playing along with me. But what the heck, I gave you something there. So anyway, enjoy this stuff. This is where you take the concept of triads and arpeggios and put them into real-life musical situation. If you have designs on being an improvising bassist or doing sessions, one thing you have to get down is being able to make up a bass line on the spot with only chords given, and that's what we're doing here. I should mention that I did throw on an extra credit for the chart playing an 8th note bass line using just triad tones. Now what that means is forget the template, but just improvise a bass line where you're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, and you're just playing 8 notes. That'd be extra credit, if you feel like it, but I definitely will give value. So I apologize for going longer than my normal 2 to 5 minutes, but I think it's important and you have something to jam along to. So applying arpeggios Unit 1. Let me know if this is helpful, if you think it's something we should do more of, and I'll try to improve the way I play along and give you guys something to jam to. Alright, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you have any questions, please email me at dalet@danabygoods.com.